Let's see this inverse of a matrix. So first of all, one thing. So what is inverse is if you multiply any matrix with that inverse of it, we are supposed to get identity matrix. Okay, and there is no rule that, or it is not necessary that every matrix is going to have an index inverse. Okay, so which means there will be some matrices which might not have inverse at all. That is first thing. And second thing is, it is inverse is applicable only for square matrices. We cannot do it for a matrix which is not a square matrix. Okay, so just keep these 2 points in mind. It should be applicable only for square matrix. And the second thing is, it is not necessary that every matrix is going to have a inverse. Inverse is going to be there only for some matrices. They are called invertible matrices, and then there is a condition by which we can find out whether inverse of a matrix exists or not. We shall see all of that later. We shall go step by step. Okay, so maybe you will not be able to understand everything in this video. With examples and more theorems it will be clear. Okay, let's go step by step here. Let capital A be a n-rowed square matrix. It means that A is a n by n matrix, which is square matrix. Then a matrix capital B, if it exists, it is important, a matrix capital B if it exists such that A into B equal to B into A equal to In. In is nothing but the identity matrix. Okay, which means if you have any two matrices in such a way that A into B equal to B into A, which means if I multiply those two matrices in any order and if I get In, right, then then these two matrices are called as inverses of each other. Here A is called as inverse of B and B is called as inverse of A, if we can find out any two matrices. Got it? Okay, now it means that okay, we shall go later to that point. Let's see this theorem. So this point is about the inverse of a matrix. That is over. Let's look at this theorem. Every invertible matrix possesses a unique inverse, which means if there is a matrix and if it is going to have an inverse, then that inverse is unique. So what I mean to say is, there cannot be two matrices in such a way that both are inverses of the given matrix, in case if they exist. Okay, so always the inverse of a matrix is unique if it exists. That is important, if it exists. Okay, so it means that in case if we can find out the inverse of a matrix, there will be no other matrix which is different from that inverse. Okay, so see this, every invertible matrix. So why this statement invertible? Because not every matrix is invertible, right? Invertible matrix means there exists inverse for a matrix, for this matrix. Every invertible matrix possesses a unique inverse, right? So what does it mean? If you have a matrix and if you can find out the inverse of it, then there will be no other inverse for that. Only that particular inverse will be there, which means it will always be unique. How can we prove that? See this. Now let us assume that A is a square matrix and then there are two inverses for A, which is a contradiction, isn't it? So let us say A is a invertible square matrix and let B and C be two inverses. So I am going by contradiction. Okay, so then if B and C are two inverses to A, then what can we write? A into B equal to B into A equal to In. Similarly, A into C equal to C into A equal to In. So these two statements I am able to write because I know that B is the inverse. That is what I am assuming. I am assuming that B is an inverse to A and C is an inverse to A. So that is why I am able to write these two equations. Now let me call the first one as 1 and the second one as 2. Got it? Now from 1, so from this one I'll take A into B equal to In, A into B equal to In, and then I multiply this with C, pre-multiplication, which means left side I multiply with C and then C. So what did we get? C into A into B equal to C, because C into In equal to C. Got it? I taken AB equal to In, and I multiplied both sides with C from the left hand side. Got it? Then what did we get? C into AB equal to C into In equal to C. Then from 2, which means from this one I am going to take C into A equal to In, and then I am going to multiply from the other side, post multiplication, with B. So here I am multiplying with b and here I am multiplying with b. In into b equal to b. Then what did we get? C into a into b equal to b. C into a into b equal to c. Now just look at these two equations 3 and 4. Left hand side is here c into a into b, in which a into b is multiplied first, and here it is c into a into b, c into a is multiplied first. But then by the rule of associativity, we know that whatever way we multiply, a chain of multiplications is going to be the same result, which means c followed by ab or ca followed by b, these two are going to yield the same result, which means these two are same. Therefore, by 3 and 4 the left hand sides are same, and so the right hand side should be same. So what can we say? Since these two are equal, we can say that b is equal to c. And what are b and c's? We assume that there are two different inverses of a, but then later we found out that both are equal. Therefore what can we say? If there is an inverse, that will always be unique. Remember that. So unlike the determinants, see, there are various ways to write the same determinant, isn't it? I mean, even though we have many determinants, the value will be same by doing the transformations. But coming to the inverse, if we have a matrix and if it has an inverse, that will always be unique. Remember that. Okay.
Hi, if you are planning to do masters, then doing masters abroad is better than doing masters in India. I'll give you all the reasons. So, first reason is, out of 1 lakh students who take GATE every year, there are only 500 seats in old IITs. So all the IITs put together have an acceptance rate of 0.5%, and IITs, universities better than IITs, they have very good acceptance rate like 30%, 40%, but all the IITs put together have an acceptance rate of 0.5%. And if you are working hard to get into IIT Bombay's ranking is 177. And IIT Roorkee's ranking is 400. If you are happy to get into IIT Roorkee, then getting into universities better than IIT Roorkee is easier compared to getting into IIT Roorkee. And looking at the salaries for computer science, for software jobs, if you have done your masters in computer science in US, the salaries are ranging from 80 lakhs per year to 1.2 crore per year. So even if you take an average of 1 crore per year, your savings will be much higher than the salaries in India. After taxes and your cost of living, you can easily save 40 to 50 lakhs per year. And in India, the maximum jobs that you get is around 30 lakhs. So your savings will be much greater than the salaries in India. And these are all the services that we provide. University shortlisting. So depending on your profile, we will shortlist what are the universities that you have to apply. And statement of purpose building, and then LOR guidance, and GRE and English test assistance, and education loan assistance. So you don't have to have any collateral, which means without any security, now you can get education loan. Getting education loan is very simple these days, and whatever the amount of fee that you have a range of universities. You can apply for 10 lakh universities, 20 lakh universities, or 50 lakh universities. But whatever it is, you are going to get complete education loan, and you can pay off your education loan in 1 year after you get a job. And then we do visa assistance, mock visa interviews, and then connecting with the university alumni. So now you might ask why we should join Game of Visas. So the answer is we have 90% success rate, 99% success rate. And these are all the destinations that we guide the students to. So we guide students to any country that you want to go. So now it is not just USA. We guide to UK, Germany, Australia, Canada. So we guide students to all the countries. We work with all the destinations. And if you are interested in going abroad, you have to just drop us a message on this WhatsApp number 9494 555 454. Okay, thank you.